Hello and welcome to K News. This is Hardik Trivedi. Let's have a look what is happening in India and in the world. Engorged with more heavy rains, China's mighty Yangtze River is cresting again, bringing fears of further destruction as seasonal floods that already have left more than 140 people dead or missing have grown in force since last month. The rains are putting renewed pressure on the massive Three Gorges Dam that straddles the river upstream of the city of Wuhan in Hubei province. The official Xinhua news agency said the rate of flow in the reservoir behind the dam would hit a record for the year on Friday night at 55,000 cubic meters per second. The inflow peaked on Saturday at 61,000 cubic meters per second before easing to 46,000 by Sunday night, Xinhua later reported. Rivers in the Yangtze system have broken their banks in places. A helicopter was used to drop stones into a breach of blocks. The inrushing waters in Hubei. Crews were dispatched with poles to probe waterlogged embankments for weakness, and thousands of sandbags were being filled in preparation for more breaches that would need to be swiftly closed. Water rose to the level of first-floor windows in exposed ancient towns, and crops were completely inundated around the vast Poyang Lake, a network of waterways that empty into the Yangtze below Wuhan. President Donald Trump is set to once again take center stage in the government's coronavirus response after a White House debate over how best to deploy its greatest and most volatile asset. He played out in public as his poll numbers falter. 1 week after a campaign shakeup, the plan is for Trump to again become a regular public presence at the podium starting Tuesday, as confirmed coronavirus cases spike nationwide. Trump advisors have stressed the urgency of the president adopting a more disciplined public agenda in an effort to turn around his lagging poll numbers against Democratic rival Joe Biden. I think it's a great way to get information out to the public, Trump told reporters in the Oval Office on Monday, saying he hopes to discuss progress on vaccines and therapeutics. His once daily turns behind the White House briefing room podium largely ended in late April after the president's off-the-cuff suggestion that injecting toxic disinfectant could help treat the coronavirus. In other sign of recalibration, Trump belatedly tweeted a photo of himself in a mask, calling it an act of patriotism after months of resistance to being publicly seen in the coverings deemed vital to slowing the spread of the virus as a sign of weakness. A seasoned politician, Madhya Pradesh Governor Lalji Tandon had a dominating presence in Uttar Pradesh, where he served as cabinet minister and was elected to the assembly and council multiple times. Belonging to the Atal Bihari Vajpayee and L.K. Advani era of BJP leaders, Tandon, who died at a hospital in Lucknow early Tuesday, proved himself as an able administrator during his decades-long political career in Uttar Pradesh. Former Lok Sabha MP, he was later given gubernatorial responsibility. Tandon represented the Lucknow Lok Sabha seat 2009 to 2014, when the former Prime Minister did not contest from the high-profile constituency on account of his poor health. He took oath as Madhya Pradesh Governor on July 29, 2019, when the Congress was in power in the state, after serving in the same post in Bihar for nearly 11 months. His tenure in the Raj Bhavan here two lasted for nearly 11 months. Born on April 12, 1935 in the Chowk area of Lucknow to Shiv Narayan Tandon and Annapurna Devi, Tandon entered politics after completing graduation. Tandon became a member of the Uttar Pradesh Legislative Council for the first time in 1978. He served 2 terms in the upper house of the state legislature from 1978 to 1984 and 1990 to 1996. He was elected as an MLA 3 times between the period 1996 to 2009 and served as a minister for the first time in UP's BJP government in 1991 to 1992 and held the power portfolio. Tandon also served as leader of the Legislative Council from 1997 to 2002 and held the same post in the Assembly from 2003 to 2007. Brajesh Thakur, who was sentenced to life imprisonment till his last breath for sexually assaulting several girls in a shelter home in Bihar's Muzaffarpur district, has approached the Delhi High Court challenging his conviction and jail term. The High Court is likely to take up this week his appeal seeking to set aside trial court's January 20 judgment, convicting him in the case and February 11 order sentencing him to life imprisonment till his last breath. A trial court had sentenced Thakur to rigorous imprisonment till remainder of his life and imposed a hefty fine of rupees 32.20 lakh on him, saying he was the kingpin of a meticulously planned conspiracy and displayed extreme perversity. Behind him, the trial court has also sent others to jail for life in the case. Advocate Pramod Kumar Dubey, who represented Thakur before the trial court, confirmed that the appeal has been filed on his behalf. Thakur in the appeal contended that the trial was conducted in a hurried manner by the special judge Posco Saket, which was a flagrant violation of his right to a free and fair trial as guaranteed under the Constitution. The CBI on Tuesday questioned Devaram Saini, OSD to Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot, in connection with the alleged suicide by State Police Officer Vishnudat Vishnoi in Churu on May 23, officials said. A team of Special Crime Unit of the CBI from Delhi is in Jaipur to record statements in connection with the death of Vishnoi, who was SHO of Raigad. His body was found hanging from the ceiling of his official residence in Churu, officials said. The move comes at a time when the Rajasthan government is facing political turmoil after Sachin Pilot's rebellion and his subsequent sacking as Deputy Chief Minister. Sources, however, made it clear that the agency is conducting investigation in a professional manner in a case handed over to it by the state government itself. The agency had on Monday questioned Congress MLA Krishna Punia for nearly 3 hours at his home in Jaipur, they say. The sources said people are being examined to know various aspects of the case, and it does not mean that they are accused, as a final picture will emerge only after completion of probe. Two suicide notes were recovered from Vishnoi, one addressed to his parents and the other of the superintendent of police of the district. In the suicide note to the SP, Vishnoi had said he was not able to bear the pressure put on him. In his suicide note, he had also said that he tried to give his best to the Rajasthan police. Congressional watchdogs are questioning the government's decision to award a 700 million coronavirus relief loan to a struggling trucking company on grounds its operation are critical for maintaining national security. YRC Worldwide provides transportation and logistics services such as delivering food, electronics and other supplies to military locations around the country. The Defense Department is a major YRC client. The department, however, sued YRC in 2018 for overcharging the government for freight carrier services and making false statements. Under terms of the coronavirus relief loan, US taxpayers through the Treasury Department will take a 30% stake in the company. YRC, based in Overland Park, Kansas, will be required to maintain its payroll at the current level of an estimated 30,000 trucking jobs and to limit executive compensation, dividend payouts and share repurchases. YRC had financial problems for years, well before the onset of the pandemic, and has been at risk of bankruptcy, the report said. The money is scheduled to be repaid by September 2024. It is the first and only loan made so far under the national security portion of Treasury's corporate aid program, which has made several billions of dollars in loans to major airlines and smaller air carriers. To qualify for the national security aid, companies should be performing under defense contracts of the highest national priority of operating under top secret security clearance. YRC apparently did not meet either of the criteria, but qualified under a catch-all provision allowing a recommendation and certification from the Secretary of Defense or the Director of National Intelligence to be sufficient. Treasury spokespeople did not immediately respond to a request for comment on Monday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will deliver the keynote address at the India Idea Summit on 22 July. The summit is being hosted by the US-India Business Council. This year marks the 45th anniversary of the formation of the council. The theme for this year's India Idea Summit is Building a Better Future. The virtual summit will feature high-level presence from Indian and US government policymakers, state-level officials and thought leaders from business and society. Other key speakers at the summit include Minister of External Affairs Dr. S. Jaishankar, US Secretary of State Mr. Mike Pompeo, Senator of Virginia and co-chair of Senate India caucus Mr. Mark Warner, former US Ambassador to the United Nations Ms. Nikki Haley, among others. The summit will witness discussions on areas including India-US cooperation and future of the relationship between the two countries in a post-pandemic world. The Rajasthan High Court said on Tuesday that it will pronounce its verdict on the writ petition filed by Sachin Pilot and 18 other dissident Congress MLAs, challenging the disqualification notices issued to them by the State Assembly Speaker on Friday. The Speaker has been asked to take no action against the MLAs till then. The MLAs were served the disqualification notice after the Congress party complained to Speaker C.P. Joshi that the lawmakers had defied a whip to attend two Congress legislature party meetings last week on Monday and Tuesday. In its complaint to the Speaker, the Congress had sought action against Pilot and the MLAs, supporting him under the 10th schedule of the Constitution. The Pilot camp, however, has argued that a party whip applies only when the Assembly is in session. Sachin Pilot, who has maintained he is not joining the BJP, was sacked as Deputy Chief Minister of the state last month and also as head of Rajasthan Congress unit. Govind Singh Dostara had been appointed as the new head of the state unit. Even as the court hearing was on, the Congress held another legislature party meeting at the luxury resort where all its MLAs have been sequestered since the beginning of the crisis. Once again, Team Pilot was missing. It's time for a short break. We'll join you in a short while.
There's a way of doing the fun with the cooler number one. Eka change ko mode fun, unte cooler number one. Eka don't run from the sun, unte gangsta number one.
Welcome back to K News and thank you for watching. Let's continue the streak of news. China on Tuesday warned the UK of forceful counter-attack after London suspended an extradition treaty with Beijing-ruled Hong Kong, weeks after the mainland implemented a controversial security bill in the former British colony. China will make a forceful counter-attack to the UK's wrong action. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Wang Webin said at the Daily News conference in Beijing. China urged the UK to give up its fantasies of continuing colonial influence in Hong Kong and immediately correct its mistakes. Wang said, adding that London's decision violated international law and norms. The two countries have had testy exchanges over the new security law for Hong Kong, which returned to Chinese rule in 1997. Ties have been further soured after the UK banned Chinese technology giant Huawei from taking part in the rollout of 5G network, calling the decision to suspend the treaty an interference in China's internal affairs. Wang added that the Hong Kong affairs are China's internal affairs and no foreign country has the right to interfere. He added that the Chinese government is unwavering in its determination to safeguard its national sovereignty, security and development interests, and in its determination to fully and accurately implement the one country, two systems policy. Shiv Sena Chief and Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray will go to Ayodhya for the Bhumi Pujan ceremony of the Ram Temple, Sena leader Sanjay Raut said on Tuesday. The Rajya Sabha MP did not clarify if Thackeray has received an invitation for the ceremony as yet. Raut refuted rumors of differences over the Ram Temple issue among the parties in the ruling Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi alliance. He said NCP chief Sharad Pawar has not criticized the construction of the Ram Temple in Ayodhya, and the three parties in the coalition have different ideologies but work on a common minimum program. Speaking to reporters in Mumbai, Raut said, "The moment that we all are waiting for that has come, but due to the coronavirus outbreak, not many people will be there. Now around 250 to 300 people are going to be invited. The Prime Minister is going to be there for the first time. Definitely Uddhav Thackeray, Maharashtra Chief Minister, will go there, but so far the details of the program have not come. It is known the Bhumi Pujan is in the first week of August." Raut said the Shiv Sena shares a religious and national connection with the Ram Mandir movement. Thackeray attending the foundation laying ceremony of the Ram Mandir could create issues with MBA. A major portion of a Haridwar boundary wall built in the British era separating the Sanctum Sanctorum Brahmakund at Har Ki Pauri with the remaining city collapsed due to the incessant rains accompanying lightning strikes in the wee hours of Tuesday. Built in 1935, the boundary wall was allegedly struck by lightning hours around 3 am, believed to have triggered the collapse that led to a scattering of debris at the ghats and up to the Ganga Sabha office. Local priests, police personnel, Ganga Sabha office bearers and residents arrived at the spot after hearing the explosive sound. Ganga Sabha President Pradeep Jha said no one was near the spot at the time of the incident. Akhil Bharatiya Akhada Parishad and Ganga Sabha have demanded an inquiry into this incident. At this religious place, in the context of the structural strength of the wall, housing a pilgrimage thronged by the millions every day. Har Ki Pauri police station in charge, Amarjit Singh, said the police personnel have cordoned off the whole area as the remaining portion of the wall too seemed vulnerable. A serological survey of Delhi's population shows that 23.48% people may have been exposed to the pathogen that causes the coronavirus disease, the Union Health Ministry said on Tuesday, releasing results of the exercise that covered over 20,000 people across the capital's 11 districts between June 27 and July 10. It extrapolated across the population, it would come to nearly 1 in 4 people, or 4.7 million of Delhi's residents. The ministry had commissioned a sero surveillance study in Delhi, in which a population of about 20 million, and it was jointly conducted by the National Center for Disease Control and the Delhi government. It was done following a rigorous multi-stage sampling study design between June 27 and July 10. Experts in community medicine say that since the samples were collected in end June and the beginning of July, there is a possibility more people may have developed antibodies against the virus by now. This is suggestive of infection during mid-June, and since then, we have seen a decent increase in the number of cases. That means more people are exposed to the virus, and the disease prevalence could be higher, said Jugal Kishore, head of the community medicine department of Safdarjung Hospital. A central team's visit to Bihar's first dedicated coronavirus disease facility, Nalanda Medical College and Hospital, in Patna on Sunday was relegated to the back burner and exposed the sorry state of the pandemic management in the state. TV news channels on Monday telecast the horrific footage in a loop of the body of a COVID-19 victim lying in the middle of the ward, while the delegates were making rounds of the hospital to assess the ground reality about the contagion management in the state. A central team member was aghast to see an unrestricted movement of attendants and sundry other people in COVID-19 wards. Such reckless acts are like super spreaders. The hospital needs to guard against the spread of infection, else it will be difficult to break the transmission pattern. The member was quoted as saying during his interaction with a healthcare professional from Patna. Later, the delegates underscored that it is imperative to strengthen the hospital's infection control policy and instill confidence among frontline healthcare workers who are battling the pandemic during a meeting with Bihar government officials. A special CBI court in Mathura pronounced 11 policemen, including a former deputy superintendent of police, guilty on Tuesday in the murder of former Royal Raja Man Singh. The CBI had presented the charge sheet against 18 police personnel. 4 of them died during trial and 3 others were acquitted. The convicted police officials included Khan Singh Bhatti, who was the deputy SP of Deeg in Rajasthan's Bharatpur. The CBI verdict came 35 years after Singh was killed in police firing. Raja Man Singh was the younger brother of last ruler of Bharatpur, Maharaja Savai Vijayendra Singh, and son of Maharaja Kishan Singh, who was born on December 5, 1921. Raja Man Singh's daughter Krishnendra Kaur Deepa was the tourism minister in the last BJP government in Rajasthan. The CBI court hearing was shifted to Mathura from Rajasthan on a plea by Krishnendra Kaur Deepa. Man Singh was shot dead along with his 2 supporters in police firing in February 1985 after an incident of violence in which Chief Minister Shiv Charan Mathur's helicopter was damaged. The CM had come to campaign for Congress candidate from Deeg, retired IAS officer Vijayendra Singh, who was contesting against Man Singh. Police personnel and officers in Gujarat have been directed not to express their political views or be part of any anti-government drive on internet under a first ever code of conduct issued by senior police official Shivanand Jha. The strict guidelines were issued against the backdrop of an online campaign for pay hike of police personnel in the state, which evoked a huge response on platforms like Facebook and Twitter. Though police personnel are prohibited from printing or publishing any material against the state under existing laws, this is for the first time that such a detailed code of conduct has been issued for them regarding the use of social media. Meanwhile, a case has been registered against 3 persons in Gandhinagar for misleading police personnel to participate in a violent agitation for pay hike, Mr. Jha said on Tuesday. 3 persons have been detained for misleading policemen at a time when the state and police force are involved in the fight against coronavirus pandemic, he told reporters. The trio Kamlesh Solanki, Bhojabhai Barwad and Hasmukh Saxena will be arrested after questioning, the top cop said. People behind such online campaigns will be dealt with strictly as per law. Mr. Jha said police personnel participating in such campaigns will have to face action. That's all for now. Keep watching K News. This is Hardik Trivedi taking your leave. Be alert, be positive, be safe.